You know that feeling, right? You sit down to write something in English and nothing, you feel completely stuck. It feels like the words are all jumbled up, the grammar is this impossible puzzle, and the whole thing is just, well, it's hard. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. And guess what? There are some obvious reasons why this happens. So let's get into it and unpack this together. So here's the big question we're tackling today. Why is writing in English so uniquely challenging? I mean, even for people who are fantastic at reading it or can speak it pretty fluently, it's this super common frustration that learners all over the world feel. And we're going to dig into the research that really gets to the bottom of this whole puzzle. Okay, so where are we getting our info? Well, the foundation for this entire explainer is a 2017 research paper by Parupali Srinivas Rao. He explored this exact question. So we're going to lean on his work to see what the research actually says. We're going to break down his findings, not just to, understand the problem, but to find a real practical way forward. All right? First things first, let's set the stage to really get why mastering English writing is such a big deal. We got to look at the role English plays in the world today. And trust me, it's become more critical than ever. So Rao's paper really nails this down. English is basically the language of globalization now. It's essential for business, for any kind of official correspondence, but it's even bigger than that. It's the tool we use to connect with people from totally different countries and cultures. The research is super clear on this. In our interconnected world, being able to communicate well in English, that's a massive key to success. Okay, so to really get to the root of this writing problem, we need to back up just a little and look at how we learn any language. It all boils down to four core skills, and this is a big but, they are not all created equal. They actually fall into two very, very different buckets. And here's that crucial split. On one side, you've got your receptive skills. Think of this as input, it's what you take in. So, listening and reading. Then on the other side, you have the productive skills. This is your output, what you create yourself. We're talking speaking and, of course, writing. And this difference right here between input and output, that is the absolute key to this whole thing. So, when you look at those four skills together, one of them pretty much always stands out as the single biggest hurdle for English learners. And the research, it points to a very, very clear culprit. And there it is. According to Rao's research, writing is hands down the most difficult skill for English learners to master. It's a productive skill, an output skill that just demands so much more practice, more time, and way more patience than any of the others. But why? I mean, what makes putting words on a page so much harder than just saying them out loud? Well, the paper points to a few key reasons. First off, there's the sheer complexity of English grammar and sentence structure. It's just tricky. Then there's the whole challenge of finding the perfect word and making your ideas flow logically, making it all cohere. But the research also highlights something else, something I bet a lot of you have felt, just plain old boredom with outdated, uninspiring teaching methods. To really appreciate why Rao's 2017 paper is so important, you have to see it as part of this bigger ongoing conversation. For decades, researchers have been trying to figure out how to teach languages better. For example, Rao himself points back to work from Underwood all the way back in 1989. Underwood argued that listening, that input skill, was totally essential and that we needed to teach it better. So as educators got better at teaching skills like listening, it kind of cleared the way for them to finally focus on the last most stubborn challenge of all, writing. Okay, so if the old ways of teaching writing just aren't cutting it, then what's the answer? This is where we get to the most exciting part of the paper, really, the solution. And it's all about making a huge shift in how we even think about teaching. So let's look at this. It's like a tale of two classrooms. On one side, you've got the traditional way. It's pretty rigid,